Hi guys, welcome to the Rule of Two, where the Star Wars saga news continues. I'm Manny.
I'm Terrence.
And we have some we have a little bit of some news, a lot of things we want to cram up in this thing. So, Terrence, talk to me about some Star Wars news that has been going on, because I'm completely blank on a lot of this stuff.
Right.
So, you're the Star Wars guy more than I am, so
all right,
not really, but
we're a little bit behind. Obviously, if you've been keeping up with the show, we haven't done one in quite some time, so we're actually going to try to do a little bit of a recap, at least on the recent things that have come up lately. So if this is a little bit old, it's more about a discussion about those things that have recently happened than just saying like, hey, this is the news. So the first thing I wanted to talk about,
that there's an episode 8 coming out.
Well, yes, but that's not the first thing I want to talk about. There is an episode 8 coming out.
I heard that.
Yeah.
I heard somewhere. There was a Force Awakens.
Hey, did you know that there was Jedis in it?
Jedi. Space pirates or something.
Takes place in space.
That's right. Anyway,
so the first and the biggest news that had come out recently was the Han Solo casting. So we finally have our Han Solo. It's going to be Alden Ehrenreich. I hope I pronounced that correct, sir. If you do watch the show, I apologize if I screwed it up. But he is now our Han Solo. And one of the things that, since it's been out there and it's been known for quite a bit, one of the questions I had with that is that how much do we want to see him in the film? Since this is he's gonna make his first appearance in Rogue One. I guess I forgot to say that he's gonna make his first appearance in Rogue One. How much do we want to see him in a Rogue One film?
I think it doesn't have to necessarily be something heavy, but at least a decent cameo to set it up.
Okay. To
set up the spinoff that'll be coming out pretty soon. So
I mean, if he makes a decent cameo in it, do you think it puts too much, or I guess I don't want to say this,
like if it takes away from
his appearance in Episode 4 in New Hope, because that was kind of like a grand appearance, like who he was and defining him as a character. If we see too much of him in a prequel-ish type film, does that now kind of take a little bit away from his grand introduction in A New Hope?
Well, in all honesty, I think the spinoff itself does that. I mean, a lot of people feel that way, that he shouldn't be in this film at all. But I'm talking about as far as doing a spinoff at all. I mean, I wouldn't do anything. I would do a spinoff on Boba Fett before I did a spinoff on Han Solo.
Okay.
So the Harrison Ford created this role. It's an iconic role, and actually one of the biggest reasons why Force Awakens was such a hit was because of Harrison Ford's return.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I know what you're saying, and it would take it away. I think it would do a little bit of a disservice.
Okay.
But if you're a really big fan of the character, I guess you want to see something.
I went back
as far as backstory.
I went back and forth about him being in the film, and then I finally settled on I did want to see him in the film because it takes place in that so close to his timeline and his introduction. So I'm okay with him being in the film. I don't really want to see a lot of him. I think if we get like a walk-on cameo for something, like maybe he's in a cantina somewhere that they happen to be in, and he's there and he's talking to somebody, maybe a Greedo,
Jabba,
maybe Jabba. Yeah, well, I don't know if we want to see another CG Jabba, but if he's in a background character, a little cameo walk-on, I think I'm okay with that, and I think it's a cool little nod to the old films. But the other question I had with this whole Han Solo casting was, do we want to see him do a Harrison Ford impression? Or do we want him to make the role his own? Kind of like, because this was actually brought to my attention before, is that when we saw and I know we're on a Star Wars show and I'm about to mention something about Star Trek, but when we saw the reboot to Star Trek, we didn't see Chris Pine do a William Shatner impression. He did his own Captain Kirk. We saw Carl Urban kind of do a Bones impression and stuff like that, and then obviously we knew we had to do a Spock impression, but Chris Pine did his own thing as he had the spirit of Captain Kirk, but he did his own thing. He wasn't William Shatner. So do we want the spirit of Han Solo but not be the mannerisms of Harrison Ford?
Well, it's kind of hard to make that comparison only because Chris Pine's character was born from a from a changing of time.
All right. By the way, welcome to the Star Wars show that we do.
I know, right? So I'll put it to you like this: William Shatner. The way William Shatner's way through life is different than this Kirk's.
Okay.
It's the same person. Now let me ask you this: I can't believe we're talking about Star Trek on Star Wars. First of all,
it's a good tie-in.
Just real quick. Imagine William Shatner being born after the time travel thing.
So living a different life, he would be a different person.
Exactly.
And that's my point. Harrison Ford, we're not living a different,
it's still the same timeline. So to answer your question, as far as making he does have to make the role his own.
Okay.
There has to be subtle similarities as far as mannerisms. Now, if I remember right, Han Solo was 34 years old when they caught him at the Mos Eisley Cantina. He was 34 years old. So in Rogue One, he's actually 24 because it takes place 10 years before, and so does the prequel. His spin-off movie. He's 24 years old. So whatever made whatever made Han Solo happened within those 10 years. So he doesn't necessarily have to do an impression. I think that there are certain mannerisms that have to remain the same, but he doesn't have to do an impression because maybe the stuff that made him that way hasn't even happened yet.
Okay.
So there could be a part of that solution there with that.
All right. So my opinion on it is that he has to do a damn Harrison Ford impression. I'm sorry. Like you said, it's in the same timeline. I expect my Harrison Ford, my Han Solo, to be Harrison Ford. That's what I expect.
I disagree, homeboy.
I don't want him to do something different. I apologize. I'm sorry. They should, to be honest, if they're gonna do it, then you're gonna give me Harrison Ford, Han Solo.
But River Phoenix didn't give you Indiana Jones. He didn't give you Harrison Ford.
That's a good point.
So I mean,
it's a very good point. But he was a kid, and it wasn't just 10 years removed.
He's 24 years old. He's a kid still. I mean, yeah, he's an adult. Okay, fine.
River Phoenix was supposed to be like a teenager.
Well, it doesn't matter. The point is that it's still before. He did not give you a Harrison Ford impression.
Okay.
So this particular.
I'll wait to see how it plays out.
Let's see how it plays out.
I'll see how it plays out.
From a look standpoint, though.
He looks nothing like him. That's why I need mannerisms.
I think.
That's why I need an impression because he looks nothing like him. You need to sell me.
Engelbart. I can't remember the guy. I'm so sorry. From Age of Adeline. I think the guy from Age of Adeline.
He looked just like.
He looked the part. I mean, it was. I mean,
they didn't cast him. So
his screen test must have sucked. But I don't understand how the Age of Adeline director said, you know what, you got to
do it. I mean, different directors. You know, different people, different producers, and they wanted something else. And when obviously he was, what's being said is that he was a standout of the film that he was in with
Hail Caesar.
There you go, Hail Caesar. He was a standout in that film, a bad movie. He was a standout and that's the reason why they really wanted him for this one.
And when you go and you're in an ensemble that includes George Clooney and Scarlett Johansson and Channing Tatum, and you're being directed by Joel and Ethan Coen, that says something. Okay. So maybe a lot of that has to do with why they actually gave this guy even a chance. I mean, Dave Franco didn't look like he had a chance in this role. So we'll wait and see. We'll see how he does.
Well, we'll definitely see how it actually plans out, and maybe we'll love it, or maybe we'll absolutely hate it, and they won't do the Han Solo spin-off film. But anyway, so moving on. Just recently, and I guess this is more of the news, is that we got some release on the character art for Rogue One. And what we got some big surprises in. And so just to go over some of the things that we did see in the character art was everybody had question about who the Admiral was in the trailer. Was it Thrawn? Was it, what was the other option we had? We had Thrawn, we had, goodness, I'm so bad with
names.
Cushing. Thank you. Peter Cushing's character.
Oh my god, what is his name again?
Oh man, it's gonna come to me, and yes, you guys can put in the comments that we are obviously horrible Star Wars fans by not being able.
No, we're great Star Wars fans. There's Peter Cushing.
But his in the art, they actually reveal the character's name. So his character is Director Krennic. And he is the director of the Imperial military. So now, with that being said, do we feel like they're, like they've said before, that they don't want to take bits and pieces? Do you think they're just going to take a little bit from the Legends universe, from Thrawn, from other Imperial admirals, and add to this particular character? Or Do you think they're doing something completely different with that? Now because he has a completely different name, it's no relation to anything that's out there. Do you think we're going to get something completely different with this character?
I think it's just a fresh take. I think it's just a fresh take on introducing a new character. I don't even think he'll even live after this movie, to be honest with you.
I mean, you know, I probably blow up with the Death Star, to be honest. Spoiler alert.
That happens? No way.
Spoiler alert, man. Or maybe, well, because the Death Star still made it through this movie, so technically, maybe he can make it, maybe. But they didn't mention him in episode 4, so he had to die somewhere. So, all right. So the next piece of information that we got from this fan art is that we got confirmation that the new stormtroopers that we've been basically kind of speculating on before are called the Death Troopers. We were speculating on the name of what they were called, and it has it listed that they're the elite Empire soldiers. Set to basically their sole purpose is to crush the rebellion.
Right.
So we feel like these are probably a little bit above, obviously the stormtroopers that Captain Phasma had shown, and the other ones that we had in the episode 8 ones. Or I guess let me say it this way: it's kind of like how we saw Captain Phasma being an elite stormtrooper and a leader. These soldiers are probably of that type rank in.
Do you think they're clones?
Well, at this point, I think they squashed that out before we got to episode 4. So at this point, they would be regular people.
But there were clones in, weren't they clones in Sith?
But yeah, that took place way before. This is closer to episode 4.
Oh, okay, cool.
So, and from what it seems like in the materials on it is that they're going to be with the director Krennic. So will we see him kind of leading, you know, these troops out to go and kind of squash or actually to stop them from stealing the death, or is he just going to lead his ship and then these guys are sent out by, are we going to get a Captain Phasma to lead them, I guess is what I'm really trying to say.
Well, I think that, which is one of the things that's probably on your list there, is that I think it's Vader.
Okay.
I think Vader's the one that leads it. He's still... he's still with Palpatine, but you got to remember how he was with Cushing's character in episode 4. He was kind of like under him too, in a way.
Yeah. No, at that point, Vader was not really in charge.
Because he when he tells them to let him go, Vader, whatever, Vader let him go, and he does it. So I don't know. There's just some things there that I think that with this introduction of having him back on the big screen again, which I'll just ruin it for you. That Darth Vader is.
He stole my segue because I really was when I said who's going to lead them. I was really going to go into the fact that we will reveal that Darth Vader will be in Rogue One.
He will be in Rogue One. But it's kind of hard not to have him in Rogue One if it takes place a little before A New Hope, for one. And on top of that, he was the one that went into the ship in the first place looking for Leia.
Right. But he could have been doing his thing on a different part of the galaxy, and this could be taking place on this part of the galaxy. But it's nice to know that we do get confirmation that he will be in it, and obviously seeing that this is an elite squad of troopers. If there's anybody that's going to lead them, it would be Vader to do so.
Right.
Now, how much do we want to see of Vader in this particular film?
A lot.
So do you want him to be an integral character? You don't want it to be this director Krennic, be the main focus, the main villain? Do you want it to be...
I want it to be Vader.
Okay.
That's just me. I'm a big fan of the character. Everybody's a big fan of the character. And he is so important to this entire construction of the Death Star. I think that, because he plays such a big part in Palpatine's life at this time, that, he needs to be more... I know that they're going to have the other guy in, and there's a possibility that they're going to use old footage or CGI of Peter Cushing's character, and I think definitely need to have more.
I'm going to take the opposite side on this.
Why is that?
The reason why...
Do you think that it takes away from the new characters? Is that what you're...
Yes, I think it shrinks the universe, because then it's always Vader. And not that I don't like Vader. Trust me, I'm wearing my Vader shirt, in honor of Vader.
No, really, you're wearing Vader shirt.
But I think that it shrinks the universe too much. It was like, man, Vader had to do everything. Well, it's like, hey, his job at that point, he was squashing Jedi and stuff like that. So he had other things to do. Let him worry about the things he has to worry about. That's why they have other admirals in the Imperial military to do things like this. And also, too,
that's just what I would like. I think that Gareth Edwards the director will probably spread it out a little.
But the other reason why I don't want him to have a big part, or have him be a big part of this, because then it puts that on him. It puts a loss on him, you know,
because he lost.
You lost the plans. I think, but then again, it makes it in episode 4 more personal with him trying to get it back.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's like, I screwed up.
You gotta remember,
but I would rather it was like, hey, Vader, you know what? Director Krennic, you know, he lost the Death Star plans and he died. You need to go get those back. Or he was like, he kills Krennic. He kills Krennic for losing the Death Star plans, and he was like, you know what? I'm gonna get these back.
Or he lost them. Krennic knows he lost it, so he kills him. So you ain't tell nobody.
See, I don't want that. I want my Vader to be BA all the way, and it was like he gets stuff done. And then, you know, if he has a mess up, you know, he's gonna take responsibility for it. And like, you know, I messed up, just like when he took responsibility for letting Luke blow up the first Death Star. Right. So, but that's how I feel about it. I think I would want him to have a small part. It could be a Captain Phasma issue too, where it's like, hey, those are cool troopers, and then we don't do nothing with them, and it's like maybe they just roll with Vader. But then we did see Imperial guards in the trailer and stuff like that. So,
do you think that's Vader kneeling?
Quite possible.
Or is it Palpatine?
Well, Palpatine wouldn't kneel, so that's the only thing about it.
Well, he would if he's not kneeling to anybody. He's just kneeling, like he's
true. But we talked about, you know, the hologram thing, stuff like that. Yeah. So I mean.
What if he's kneeling to look in the camera?
He's kneeling to look in the camera.
To do that.
I need a better shot.
Next topic.
You're getting my bad side.
That's awful. That's awful.
All right, so
I'm still freaking thinking about this damn Cushing roll. General Blue.
What's funny is I remember Admiral Piet.
And you don't remember General Blue.
We're gonna put it in the credit. We're gonna put it. It's gonna be here, and I'm gonna feel like an idiot when I actually put it. I'm like, oh my god! Oh my god! All right. So the next bit of news is there was actually some set photos of the Millennium Falcon being on the island where we found Luke at the end of Force Awakens. At the end of Force Awakens. I said, but this actually goes on to episode 8 news. I guess I should have said that. And now my question here is that since they actually did a practical Millennium Falcon, since they have the ability to CGI the Millennium Falcon on the island, if she's only going to be there for a short period of time, because they did a practical ship, do we feel like Rey will be on this island training for the whole movie or the majority of the movie, a la Empire Strikes Back?
And I was thinking that too. If you really look at it, the time that Luke spends on Dagobah is a pretty decent amount of time on.
I mean, once he gets off Hoth, yeah. So.
Yeah. Why did they call it Hoth? They should have been cold. So I think that you're right. I think that it's going to be she's going to be on there for a while.
Okay.
You know, I think that for them to have that much. For them to go and take that much time to make this thing and have it on there.
It's a huge.
Yeah,
it's life-size, ship. I mean, they made a Millennium Falcon on this island. So,
but they could be using that set for like different shots. They could even be using it for episode 9. So there's a lot of different things.
Because Luke came back to Dagobah after, in return, he came back. So
yeah, so it's a possibility that they're just taking multiple, and we're gonna build it. We're gonna make the most out of it. I mean, that's a fact. So I think that they're gonna use a lot of it there, but they could be using some photography for the next show too.
All right. So one of the things that came out as far as like some script leaks, now that we're thinking about Luke being on the island, is that we may see Luke don the black Jedi garb.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. So, do you feel like that would be a good? Even though he's supposed to be wise old, Obi-Wan type figure.
No, not at all. Does he shave and cut his hair?
And
does he like?
That's what they gave us in Force Awakens. Was they gave us Obi-Wan Luke. So even though that's out there, I'm not sure if I think I kind of want to keep him as Obi-Wan Luke than to see him squeeze. Put on the William Shatner girdle. Star Trek references all day today.
Really?
Squeeze into the old black Jedi garb and do the training. Why would he need to?
Well, maybe he bought new clothes. He made new clothes and he stretched it out and got his size now. And
he was like, I've been doing a lot of training here. I can fit in this again.
I think that maybe he starts. It's a possibility. I think he would start out in Obi-Wan but then towards the end, I mean, there's got to be a serious fight scene from the leaks and spoilers, I mean, that are out there, that there is a battle that takes place between him and Kylo Ren, or him and Snoke, or whoever, or him and Vaughn, which is Benicio del Toro's character.
Right.
Anything can happen. So if it starts out where he's doing the training and he's in Obi-Wan mode, but then something happens where he's got to go and I'm gonna tear some booty up. Let me get my Jedi stuff on.
Let me get my black Jedi.
Get my black Jedi on and let's go. Take my green lightsaber. Boom.
Okay, so as we do in every one of these Rule 2 episodes, we always talk about rumors. So some of the rumors that we actually saw on the net recently. First rumor, referencing episode 8. A new title is actually out there. So we actually, before we had Order of the Dark Side is what was originally kind of being toted out there on the internet as far as a potential title for episode 8.
Tales of the Jedi Temple.
Garbage. But also now we're hearing
Darth does Dagobah.
I would go see that. I would go see that. Twice. But now we're hearing that there's a title out there, a potential title called Fall of the Resistance, which is actually a way better title than Tales of the Jedi.
Definitely better. It's not better than Order of the Dark Side. It's not even better than Echoes of the Dark Side.
But what sounds more like a potential title to the film? Would it be Order of the Dark Side or Fall of the Resistance? Fall of Resistance.
I would probably say Echoes of the Dark Side. It sounds a little bit more. I personally like Order of the Dark Side because it ties into Order 66 from Sith. So I would like that title. But I think Echoes of the Dark Side sounds a little bit more realistic. Now, Fall of the Resistance is a title that was leaked out from a Star Wars celebration that took place in the UK.
Right.
So you look it up online. Is it fake? Is it real? Who knows? They could have even been, showing multiple different titles of, just to get reactions. You never know.
Guys, they could change this title all the way up to the last
Absolutely.
day, so.
Until Disney actually makes the announcement of what it's going to be called, I would just take it in as rumor. But if they're going to be parallel to Empire, a little much like Force Awakens was with A New Hope, then I would probably go with something along the lines of Echoes from the Dark Side, because it was a lot darker in tone. John Boyega has already stated that this movie is bigger and it's darker than the previous one. So I would probably say that something relating to the dark side would fit it perfect, but. Fall of the Resistance that does mean victory in Kylo's world. Yeah. So you never know. I think Kylo wins this round though.
Oh, well, you always gotta have. I mean, it's always gotta be back and forth. So
I'm curious of his concept art, what he looks like.
Yeah,
because he lost the mask at the start.
Yeah, that's another rumor that's out there. Is that will we see Kylo in a new helmet? Will we see him unmasked? But obviously, seeing what they've been doing with before and his infatuation with Vader, then obviously we would think that he'd get a new helmet. So kind of what's that helmet going to look like? What's the design that's going to be on that? So I can't wait till they start leaking some images or some concept art so we can definitely kind of see what we're going to be getting, because I really liked his design of his original helmet. It was Vader-ish, but yet had his own thing, and for him to lose it, I was kind of down about that.
Did you like it that because originally the silver part was actually gold?
Yeah, I saw.
Would you have liked it?
No, I liked it better as silver.
It's over. Yeah, I like it better. Me too. Now like I said, he lost this at Starkiller Base, so he's actually gonna have to have that. But
can we get Maz Kanata to find his helmet and bring it back? It costs you.
But his hood though, his outfit, that would probably remain the same. So obviously he's got the big scar on his face.
Right.
Is he going to want it hidden? What's the mask he's going to want?
He may have breathing problems from the injury, lightsaber to the face.
He got shot too.
Oh yeah, he's probably got all types of cybernetic implants going on. So yeah. All right. Other rumors that we actually heard out there was that the weapons and armor have been spotted for the Knights of Ren. So I kind of want to ask, do you think we're going to get the Knights of Ren in Episode 8?
I do. I think that Kylo's mask, so he's going to call his boys up.
And can you go pick up my mask off that off the planet? I know the planet blew up, but it might be floating out in space somewhere.
Yeah, but I think they are. I think they're going to play a role in how they're going to get Rey out. Okay. Like as far as because I know that supposedly some of these leaks are saying that Kylo Ren gets Finn and Poe to lure Rey out. If that's the case, then I think the Knights of Ren will play a part in that. My question to you is, when they initially attacked Luke and his pupils, did that take place on that island?
I don't think so.
You don't think
because
so?
they said he went looking for the Jedi Temple. So he left wherever he was at to go find it.
There. Okay, gotcha.
Now, as far as the Knights of Ren, kind of piggybacking what you're saying, but maybe taking. I don't think Kylo. Snoke said he was going to train him. He's going to finish his training. I think we take a departure from Rey and Kylo Ren in this particular film. As far as them being integral to the plot, I think they're going to be doing their training, trying to get where they need to get. We're going to see more Sith's training, but I think this is a perfect way to use a bad without using Kylo Ren. It was like, hey, he's training, I'm finishing his training, I need you guys to get out there and go wreck.
Then that would probably be Benicio del Toro's character.
Yeah, maybe he's leading the Knights of Ren.
Possibly.
Yeah. So I think so I really think that they're going to be in it, and I think they'll have a bigger part. So they wouldn't have teased them in the Force Awakens. I was going to say episode 7, but in Force Awakens without having some type of setup for them coming forward in the future. And I think this is the best way to do it, by sidelining Kylo Ren and saying, hey, you guys are just as BA, get out there and go get this taken care of. So, all right. So that brings us on to our last rumor. I mean, obviously there's tons of rumors out there, but I guess probably the one that we really want to talk about. So, will we see Yoda as a Force Ghost? Because that's a rumor out there right now, is that Yoda will make a return as a Force Ghost in Episode 8 to be seen by Luke, which I kind of had a problem with that because I felt Luke had a stronger bond with Obi-Wan. So why would he not see Obi-Wan? But then
supposedly the Force Ghost actually gets weaker as time goes by, and that would probably explain why he wouldn't see Obi-Wan Kenobi. It's been 30 years since Jedi after Yoda died, but Yoda is so powerful with the Force. I think that he can probably outlast that. Anakin possibly, who knows? But Frank Oz was in England. He did do his voice work.
Yeah, because we heard it. Didn't we hear? Oh, not Frank Oz, but it was Obi-Wan, and then it was Ewan McGregor. I'm thinking Ewan McGregor.
Yeah, Ewan McGregor did some voice for Force Awakens, and then they used some archive voice footage from Alec Guinness for Rey's vision. And I believe Frank Oz was actually Yoda's voice was in Rey's vision too.
Okay, so it was in there, because I was trying to remember if it was in that vision or not.
So he did do voice work on Episode 7, and he did go and record more voice work for Episode 8. Now, Rian Johnson, who's directing this next episode, does not want any CGI Yoda, so they're more than likely going to use puppets, a puppet Yoda for these scenes. Now, Frank Oz is not going to perform Yoda the way he did in Empire and Jedi.
No, that's what I want. But he'll get so big and he'll of this kind.
Well, they might get Mel Brooks to be yogurt. Anyway,
that was a joke.
That was funny. So Frank Oz won't be, performing as far as the puppet's concerned. He will be doing the voice, supposedly, and the sets, as far as at the island or wherever they're at, the sets have been modified to do puppeteering work.
Okay.
Whether or not that's Yoda or not remains to be seen. We don't know, but
or maybe
I'm freaking excited
on the planet.
Are you excited to see Yoda back?
I'm excited to see Yoda back, but I don't want serious Yoda that we got in prequels. I actually liked fun-loving, kind of old kooky Yoda.
Well, he was like that to completely throw Luke off, because he didn't want him to know that he was Yoda.
He was still doing that, and I guess in Jedi he got serious. Whatever. Look as good. You're not.
Exactly.
So I kind of like that Yoda, and I'm okay with the puppetry with it. I'd love to see puppetry nowadays as opposed from the 70s and the early 80s.
The better, I think.
So, but I'm still feeling a little bit bad, because more along the lines is that I wanted to give Ewan McGregor more of a chance to make it back to the franchise. So I would rather see Obi-Wan, and I would rather see him do Obi-Wan.
Maybe that's Episode 9.
Maybe it's Episode 9, but then you said the why wouldn't they have him Episode 8 and bring him back in 9? It makes more sense to bring Yoda back in 9 and have him in 8. So, especially if you're saying with them getting weaker and fading off.
Because he was doing train spotting too. So.
Oh gosh. All right, so
that's actually true. But anyway,
that's all the rumors we got for this week, and all the news that's come out recently that we could get to you guys. Like I said, we were trying to get caught up where we're at. We'll do this show a little bit more frequently than we have been doing, and definitely when news comes out, we'll definitely bring it to you here on The Rule of Two. So normally at this time in the video, he goes, Terrence. So we're gonna go, Maddie. Take us home.
All right. Well, you know what? There's a lot of news out there that we have not seen. Obviously, if there's some news that you guys have seen and you want to throw back at us, please let us know. Comment below. What do you want to talk about? What do you want us to look at or read up on? Anything like that. We welcome every kind of feedback that you got. Please, you can hit us up on Facebook. You can hit us up on Twitter. Jeez. Where else can I hit us up? Now you can hit us up on Instagram.
Yeah, because if you're on our Twitter, it links back to my Instagram. So, please be nice if you do go to my Instagram. Please be nice. But yeah, definitely hit us up with rumors because we love to talk about rumors and, get a discussion going, what we think. I mean, nobody really knows until the movie comes out. So we'd love to have the conversation and discussion going for.
And there's actually an addition that I would love to have on the Rule of Two. Help me out with some ideas. If there's some things that we could actually add to the show, like the way we have for the goods, we have the top 5 that caps off our show. If there's anything that you can think of that we can add to the Rule of Two, that would be friggin' awesome. I would love to add something else.
It's called rumors.
Rumors. Look at all these rumors.
Look at all these rumors.
Forget it. All right. For Aspen in the back, I'm Manny.
I'm Terrence.
And may the force be with you.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Hi guys, welcome to the Rule of Two, where the Star Wars saga continues. I screwed that up.
I didn't do that. I didn't do that. He gave me crap, and it wasn't me. It wasn't me. Just want to put that out there for the world here. It wasn't me.
Okay, let's do it again. All right, ready? All right.
3, 2.
Hi guys, welcome to the Rule of Two.
Oh my God.
Second take. Second F up.